My channel is normally about entry level and getting you into cybersecurity. What if you are already in cybersecurity? What if you already have a master's degree or you have experience, extensive experience in the fields and you have a master's degree? Why am I focusing today on certifications or degrees? I am focusing today on degrees because I want to tell you about my side hustle, what I do outside of my 9 to 5. I work for Yale University, and on the side, I actually teach online. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up and why it's very relevant to you is because even if you don't work in cybersecurity, but you have a degree in another field, this can apply to you as well. So a lot of the times I talk to people that are switching careers, right? You want to get into cybersecurity from another career. So just imagine that you have your degree in, I don't know, English, for example. If you already have a degree in English or business, any of those type of degrees, bachelor's, master's degree, they can help you. And while you're getting into cybersecurity, you can actually teach. So that is what I do on the side. And I'm going to break it down to you on the skills that it helps sharpen, the network that you get to do, and passive renewal, which is like a pro tip for when you do get your certifications in cybersecurity. Let's get into those. First, let me tell you the reality behind the hustle, right? So what does it mean to teach online? When I teach at a school called Campus. I'm very transparent in my channel and in my life, so I'm gonna continue to be transparent here. I work at Campus as a teaching assistant. So what does that mean? I'm actually doing CompTIA A+. It's still underneath the realm of cybersecurity, right? And this helps with keeping the skills sharp because I am constantly talking about the entry level, because CompTIA A+ is entry level, of those entry level skills that you need that you can still use even at the level that I am in. So the network, you meet a lot of people that might be entering the field, and this might be good for you, for the brand of the community. So that's another reason why I teach. So the passive renewal, remember that when you get CompTIA Plus, Security Plus, you need CEUs. And in order to get those continuing education units, credits, you have to show that you are doing cyber. And one of those things that you could do is use your job. If you're in cyber, that's 9 units that you can get. And this is another way that I do it because I am still, again, it's entry level, but entry level deals with troubleshooting, with finding out. Like one example that I gave the students last week was there was an incident with a malware that was installed on a computer. And I opened a ticket with the help desk for them to investigate if that file even existed, right? So they're doing troubleshooting at this level, right? So those are the things that I feel are important for me to be able to do the side hustle. Now, what does it mean? If I'm teaching, what are my hours and stuff like that? So I was a teaching assistant, like I said, and the course is over right now and the next semester is starting. And one of the things that I did was I held my sessions. So I prepared my slides. At the beginning, I was preparing my slide to complement the professor, what was already taught, right? So the professor taught on Tuesdays and Thursday, and my sessions were on Wednesdays. So when I had my lessons or my sessions, I would create a file and I would teach to, again, complement what the teacher was doing. I did this for a few weeks and then I started understanding the demographic of my students And then I pivoted and I did things a little bit different because I felt like giving my students time within that hour that I have for them to work on the labs or work with them on the lab as we are live together. It is a live course, was more beneficial, right? They had to be there for that hour instead of me teaching at them. It was more collaborative where I started doing the labs with them or just giving them the time for them to do the labs, because as you can imagine, the life happens and you have a lot of things going on. So having that hour to work with me and having me there to help them in anything that they could possibly do was, I think, pretty impactful for them. The other thing for my students was that they got a direct access to me, right? Like I was there every Wednesday and I spoke to them about the industry and things that they would be interested in. Now, one of the key takeaways of the course was it was a resume that the professor built, and it was key on all of the components that they touched within the 11 weeks that we were together. So I felt that was very important. On top of that, when I met with them, I also told them how to bridge whatever they were doing right now with their resume so that they can get entry-level jobs in IT or in cyber if they were interested. And every time we talked about cyber, I make sure that I mentioned to them how that entry-level IT job related to cyber. So that's why I do this as a side hustle. It is something that I am building for myself. I believe in multiple streams of income, and it's something that I want to build for myself for the future. I want to continue to teach, and I am actually looking for more teaching opportunities. So if you know of some, drop them in the comments below and let me know, because I'm definitely looking for more teaching opportunities. The other side of the teaching, that the times, the hours. So the professor taught Tuesday and Thursday, like I said, and his teaching was from 9 to 10. And I had my sessions from 8 to 9 on Wednesdays. And I was available. I downloaded the app on my phone. So I wanted to make sure that I was available for my students as much as possible. Right? So during my normal working hours, I might have not responded, but then at the end of the day, I would respond to them if they were reaching out to me. That is how I am able to handle my full-time job, 9 to 5 at Yale University, and to do this teaching on the side, because it did not correlate with my working hours. It was at nighttime. And it was live. I'm looking for asynchronous more than synchronous. So I was doing synchronous, which means live, in person. They were there, I was here. I mean, they were in different places in the United States, and I was in my home. So I love the flexibility of that. And if you find any type of opportunity like that as you're trying to get into cyber, or you need extra income, this is why, for me, this is a very good side hustle. I have spoken before that I have a master's degree from Fordham University. So I do have the credentials, and I have taught in various areas of my life. So being a Marine, a sergeant in the Marine Corps, you have to present a lot, and you have to teach a lot. You have to teach your Marines, you have to give presentations to your boss. So there's a lot of teaching and presentations and things that go on within the Marine Corps that also gave me kind of like the background to be able to teach, and then my credentials as my master's degree, etc. Or if you have a bachelor's degree, that can also work, because I know that there's other universities that accept a bachelor's degree and more of what do you have in the field. And it's not just for cyber, which is why I wanted to bring it to you guys, because I think this is important for you, my community, because teaching you can teach English, you can teach science, you can teach social studies, you can teach math, you can teach, I mean, all of the core subjects that you can think about, right? So if you have any of those degrees, this is something that you could do. So go out there and find places like campus.edu. That's where I'm doing teaching assistants right now. So next week, I'm going to talk about the CEUs portion of the Security Plus and what you need to do and how to make sure you don't let it lapse, because the last thing you want to do is you do Security Plus and then all of a sudden you have to take the test all over again. So I'm going to show you guys, because I like to check it. I know mine is not up until 2028, but I still like to check it and make sure that I am on track with my continuing education credits. And I'm going to show you guys what I do for that and how much I pay and when I pay and all of that things. So look out for that video that's coming out next week. I want to thank you so much for watching. And if you think that this can help someone that you know, please share it with them and make sure you support this channel by just giving me a like. I appreciate it so much. Catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much.